Hello, Net and YouTube. No, hello, everybody. For real, though. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the live. I want to welcome all good spirits into the live. I want to welcome Jesus, the goddess, and all good spirits into the live to overthrow the tyrant bad guys. Welcome to the Blue Lions, Ultraviolet Lions, Fair Liberation Front, Church of Judas, Pillar Revolution, Peace Pipe Party, and our new assistant, Empty Box. Empty Box is here to provide some height for the camera thing. Oh, and now that I think about it, I left the camera thing downstairs, so I'm sure something else will do. But ill prepared for this live. Hello, welcome. That's okay, because I feel like I'm gonna kind of change it up a little bit in general. It's interesting. I was thinking about really drastically changing my content and not talking about some of the things I've been consistently talking about. And I have even steered away from some of my typical topics. But I saw Guy Christensen, just before doing this live, I saw a short from Guy Christensen talking about using his platform of 3 million people. And if he didn't use his platform an audience of 3 million people when the times were tough, then it wouldn't be brave. And I'm like, you know what? I should use my platform of 3,000 people. Whatever. I use my platform of however many people to do something as well. This cat is probably going to participate. I don't know why she sounds like a chicken. Does anybody speak cat? Can anybody? Anyway, thanks for being here. I don't know. I feel like as much as I'm committed to, say, supporting Jasmine Crockett, that's one thing I wanted to do with this live. Support Jasmine Crockett, because we have a few days left to elect Jasmine Crockett in a big landslide. Hello. Whoops. Sorry. Hello. If we can elect Jasmine Crockett in a big enough landslide in Texas, she'll go on to run for president. That's a good move. That's a really good opportunity for America. Otherwise, I think Mark Kelly would be a good candidate for president. I think. I'm not real sure. I know Jasmine Crockett would be a great candidate for president. She's currently running for Senate. She's currently running for the nomination to run for Senate. And, it's kind of ridiculous. Oh, you have a say. Is Alberta, which Canadian province is trying to uh, break away from Canada? Do you remember? Are you aware of a secessionist province in Canada? Is that you guys? Is that Alberta? Does that not affect you? Do you know who Jasmine Crockett is anyway? That would be both Alberta and Quebec. Are they trying to break off together, like elope? Or are they trying to break off and be each of their own countries? Or are they trying to break off and become part of America? And do you support that? Because to be honest, it sounds like some Trumpy stuff, some Putin. It kind of smells like vodka, It smells kind of like vodka and poop. So I think it might be some Trumpy Putin-y stuff. Hello. So we were being positive, supporting Jasmine Crockett. Then we had the question of secession in Alberta and British Columbia. I don't know what that means. So anyway, apologize for the Nazis in chat. Apologize for the bait in chat. Oh my gosh, dude. The Trumpstein files? You really don't know what the Trumpstein files are about yet? Every single person on earth is talking about the Trumpstein, or at least everybody in America was talking about the Trumpstein files, and you just don't even know what they are? You have no clue what the Trumpstein files are. Okay? So, anyway, sorry about the troll bait in the chat. Hello, Wicker Wally. Nice to meet you. I go by Puffin. Welcome to the Fairy Liberation Front. Welcome to the Church of Judas. Welcome to the Pillow Revolution. Welcome to the Peace Pipe Party. Oh my gosh. So you don't sound like you're looking at all. Like the Trumpstein files. The J.P. Morgan Trumpstein files. Okay? Look up the history of the trending word Trumpstein files. Go to Google Trends and look up Trumpstein files. Or look up J.P. Morgan Trumpstein files. Okay, sorry about the Nazis in chat. They're kind of telling on themselves. So when somebody tries to dismiss Jasmine Crockett, who you're really dismissing is yourself. I've run into whole nests of these people. They like pretend to be Democrats, and then really their whole function is to try to dismiss Jasmine Crockett. Like whole groups of them. It's pretty unnerving and disturbing. And when I think about it, the whole reason I even pay attention to this one particular channel who runs a nest of anti-Jasmine Crockett people is because they came up, they appeared in somebody else's content, So it's not just that person. They're part of a larger network. And that gets to the general topic that I did think I wanted to talk about today. I don't know. I'm still kind of ambivalent. We'll see where it goes. Maybe somebody in chat will have something interesting to say. Any main characters in chat? Looking for a main character in chat. Welcome back. Y'all remember me, right? So, sorry about the Nazi trolls in chat who are projecting things. Yeah, Vote Waldo says, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed. Have you heard Sasha Riley's accounts? Sasha Riley's accounts are not even in the files, I don't think. But they fit with what you probably read. So I'm sorry that you read the files. I mean, I'm glad you read them, but I'm also sorry you went through that. And so we're going to do some like healing for people who have been exposed to the information for the Epstein files. We're going to heal you up, power you back up, and thank you for your service to the country and to the truth, for spreading the information. But let's talk to Vote Waldo for a second, because Vote Waldo is actually informed. Vote Waldo said, "Bro, I read a good portion of the files over weeks, and it was the most disturbing shit I've read. I believe it. Crisis cycle. Is some type of troll. It's weird what the trolls say. I guess I'll read what the troll said. Crisis cycle said, "Hey, so I have a friend who summoned a ghost, and now he's in a long-term relationship and has ghost babies. Should I diversify my finances?" It's like what? It's if you wanted to just study people's psychology or things psychology, that might be interesting, but it doesn't really have anything to do with. This guy keeps making pedophile. He keeps making pedophile references. Like that's all he can do. Unsuccessful Bill Murray. How's that? I guess Bill Murray was successful in certain ways. I loved What About Bob. It was hilarious. Where is that book? Ah, here it is. Okay, we're looking for main characters. What does that mean? Wasn't Jasmine Crockett involved with James at one point historically? Who's James? James. Wasn't Jasmine Crockett involved with James at one point? That's not ringing a bell for me. You might have to elaborate a little bit. I like chocolate. I like chocolate peanut butter. Favorite ice cream flavor? I like chocolate peanut butter. What's your favorite? What's everybody's favorite ice cream flavor in chat? If you name a favorite ice cream flavor, I'll rate it. Dude, dude. Okay, Obama's in a lot in. What? Obama sin a lot in? He has a weird name. He's obviously a Klansman. He joined 2 days ago. He has 0 subscribers. He's obviously a Klansman for some reason on my channel. Talking all about molesting kids and racist stuff. Weird. Okay, we got any main characters in chat? It's all trolls. Sorry about the troll bait in chat. Welcome to Net and YouTube if you've never been YouTube live before or something. Oh my gosh. They're all just terrible. Okay, people do like ice cream flavors. Sorry, Skibbity toilet brush, but pistachio is not a favorite flavor of mine. You're welcome. That more pistachio ice cream for you, right? Moose Tracks is good as fuck. Doctor Studios YT, I can approve your ice cream selection. Moose Tracks is good. Okay, we're gonna pin that comment. Moose Tracks is the winner so far. Vanilla ice cream, that's good. I mean, or Deer Tracks, which I don't know what the difference is. I mean, I kind of know. I don't know what Deer Tracks is, I guess what I'm saying. Is that like chocolate covered raisins are in there or something? Unsuccessful Andy Kaufman. I mean, you at least have some references. Semen ice cream. KKK. Are you announcing that you're KKK, or are you just remembering that Obama guy's a Klansman? Oh, Shadowban's the Proud Boy. He's a Klansman. Telephone guy. James Tallarico, what do you mean history? What's the history? Now you got me curious. So you know something about James Tallarico. I think he's probably a piece of shit. Skibbity's not a toilet great. Because at one point in history, Jasmine, she's still leading. Maybe I misread your previous comment. Jasmine Crockett's kicking Tallarico's ass. Wasn't Jasmine Crockett involved with James at one point historically? James Tallarico. Because at one point historically, Jasmine Crockett was leading. Jasmine Crockett's still leading. Do you speak French? PB&J gelato is apparently really good. You look Greek. Well, thank you. I only eat gelato now. Local companies shatter my world when it comes to ice cream. That's awesome. I like, we have custard here. I like frozen custard. It's good. Bluebell makes banana pudding with actual bananas and vanilla wafers. It's damn good if you like banana pudding. I do like banana pudding, Sojo. I have white privilege. Well, then use it for something good. My channel is often about politics. Sometimes I sing songs. Right now I'm supporting Jasmine Crockett for president. I think she should skip the Senate, but I also think it would be important for her to win the Senate in a big way. And while she's a senator, immediately be running for president, because she runs such a good race for Senate and wins so big that we realize Texas isn't big enough for her. I don't know who you guys want for our next elected president. We'll probably have President Grassley. As far as I can tell, President Grassley will be the next president after the impeachments and such, but who will be the next elected president you guys want? AOC? Yeah, sure. I have no problems with AOC. I just think Jasmine Crockett's better. Excuse me. For a while there, I was insisting on AOC or Jasmine Crockett for president and vice president. Either order, but just only those two. No substitutions. AOC, Jasmine Crockett. Vice president and president, or vice versa. Now I'm kind of like, Mark Kelly, sure. Anybody. I'm kind of more open to Not anybody. Like, I'm not open to Gavin Newsom. I'm open to Mark Kelly. I mean, does that mean anything, though? Like, are you in California or something? I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I think it's more likely that Cardi B would win, would run and win, than Nancy Pelosi, personally. I mean, you don't want Nancy Pelosi. I'm not saying she won't run. They're running dumbass Gavin Newsom. Like, they run people to not win. You know, that side of the Democrats runs people to not win. With Ralph Regan as our candidate, we can't possibly lose. But we'll find a way, because we're the Democrats. That's the centrist agenda. So you just got to replace all the centrists as well. That's why James Tallarico is trash. You have to have Jasmine Crockett. Like, every argument for James Tallarico is like, he's white, the Klan, you know, all this other stuff. No, Jasmine Crockett. Like, shut the fuck up. You know? Like, there's no reason to ever appeal to those people. There's no reason to ever... Hello, Dead Man System. Are you aware of the Jasmine Crockett, James Tallarico race in Texas? How Jasmine Crockett should win, and win really big, and then she should win the Senate race really big, and then she should run for president? Don't you think? Fall? I think that's our best sequence of events. The way campaigns are now, like, she's already doing her Senate campaign. She's got to win the primary. It's only like a week away. Important point. Her primary is about a week away, but the early voting's now. So go vote now, because what very likely might happen is you'll go to vote and you'll find out you're not registered because Donica Patinsky kicked you off the registration rolls in Texas. And then what you got to do is you got to make a video about that and post it. And then you could just make a video about that anyway, even if it doesn't happen to you. But you got to make a video about that and post it, and then go back and register. That's the whole reason to go vote early. So if you can't, you can still have time to register and still vote. But almost more importantly than that is if you do go in, even if you don't have time to re-register and vote, if you do go in and they say you kicked off the voter rolls, make a video about it. Tell everybody about it. That shit's got to go viral so everybody knows, and then you'll get more people to vote. Even if you couldn't vote, you're being blocked from voting, we'll get dozens of more people to vote than would have, that they didn't bother to kick off because they haven't been voting recently. See what I'm saying? So make them kicking people off the voter rolls backfire on them. Make everything Donica Patinsky does backfire on them. Thanks. The inflatriates? Which frog brigade are you talking about? There's the inflatable frog brigades and the inflatriates, the American heroes. And then there's you Groiper motherfuckers who everybody hates. You really should think twice about how you've probably cost your whole families, like all of your ancestors and inheritance and property and stuff. You've probably cost your families all their property just to support Trump and be a little shit online. That's pretty pathetic. That's a pretty bad waste of your legacy, of your entire family's generational legacy, just to be a little shit online. Hello, Ireland. Hope you're well too. Nice to see you again. Thanks for being here. If you don't find anything better on net and YouTube, swing back by. We could use some good people. We don't have any main characters here besides Dead Man System, maybe. Gen Z is not right wing. Nobody's right wing, dude. Like, you guys really don't count. Gen Z right wing. That's ridiculous. Well, you're the second one with Bill Murray. Somebody else said Gene Wilder, maybe? I don't remember. I don't even get the point of the group. Of the Groypers? Dude, they're half of the Trump terrorist network. They're like the shadow side of the Trump terrorist network. You ever play Zelda? You ever seek the Triforce? They're the shadow side of the Trump terrorist network. The white side of the Trump terrorist network is Charlie Kirk, you know, Turning Point and the Zionists. That's the white side. And then the dark side of the Trump terrorist network is shut up, dude. Sorry, I might have to ban a bitch. Channel activity joined 1 year ago, has 0 subscribers. It's never been here before and will never be here again. That's easy enough. Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter. He can't report my channel anymore anyway. He's blocked from the channel. Yeah, I don't usually block people, but that was obnoxious as fuck, and we don't need to. He'd never been here before, so it was like, we're not missing anything. A lot of the reason I don't block people is so that people can track them down in the future by their comments. Yeah. So, anyway. Why do people's subscribers matter to you? Oh, it's just another way of tracking people. Like, what are your subscribers? Shadow Typhoon CH. Your name is Shadow Typhoon CH. The CH are capitalized. Shadow Typhoon is all lowercase. Your channel activity is you joined 12 years ago and you have 1 subscriber. So for one thing, that lets me know definitely you've never made any content. If you had content even for 5 of those 12 years, if you had 1 video ever on your channel, you would have more than 1 subscriber because people would run across your 1 video in 12 years. But look, you've made dozens of comments, okay? You said things like, good thing you don't decide who's American. No, also if your ancestors came over in the Mayflower, my ancestors were here long before yours, LOL. What, do you think your ancestors came over on a Viking ship? Like, you're not, you're not a Native American person. You're not an indigenous person. You're a Nazi, right? I mean, if you are an indigenous person, you need to have some talks to some real indigenous people. Trump makes Watergate look like water under the bridge. Like a bridge of... Hello, Joseph. Nice to see you. Like a bridge over... Thanks. You look fucking insane. Thank you. I spy on invisible members. I mean, you sound like you do, right? Didn't you identify as a groiper earlier? Real indigenous tribes nation people right here. See, look, you can tell the obvious difference between a real indigenous person in the chat, Joseph, and that guy who was just trying to say some bullshit about his ancestors are here before my ancestors got here on the Mayflower. No, they weren't, bitch. Like, look at you. I am part Native American. Well, I'm part Native American. That's not what it's about, dude. You're not an indigenous person in, like most people, 90% of people in Georgia, from Georgia, are part Native American. That doesn't give, some Cherokee princess you believe is your ancestor doesn't give you the right to speak about things. No, I don't assume people's race. I know you're a white MAGA piece of shit. Like, you wouldn't talk the way you did. I'm not assuming your race. You're telling us who you are by saying white person MAGA shit. Okay, see, Tedward Evans is Navajo. See, we have a Navajo person. You didn't say anything like that. You said, I have some Native American ancestry. Well, so do I. So, yeah, my ancestors on that side were here as long as your supposed ancestors were. But you're not, accepted of some tribe or something, and neither am I. And yeah, my other ancestors came over on the Mayflower. So they got here a lot earlier than your European ancestors did. And you can fuck right off. Just like it's my live stream. You're just visiting and you can fuck off. Like all MAGA. You're only here as bait for better people. Trump Mutineers only exist as bait for better people to come in and be like a main character. Palestine, Ukraine, America. We got to save all these countries from Trump, Putin, Netanyahu. Trump and Putin and Netanyahu are the worst. Okay? And so since they're the worst, which countries, have the most responsibility to do something about it? Israel, USA, and Russia. So let's do something. I'm going to do my part in America. Me and Guy Christensen. And his mom, dude. I had a dream about Guy Christensen's mom. I wanted to ask her out. The tribe nations of both the condor and eagle are never illegal on Turtle Island. Which one's the condor and which one's the eagle? Is the eagle what we call North America and the condor South America? That's just something I wanted to guess. Why can't everyone be honest about being racist? We can be honest about being racist, Shadowband. You're racist, right? You identified earlier as a Proud Boy. So of course you're racist, and that makes you a piece of shit. Honestly, being racist makes you a piece of shit. You can stop being racist and stop being a piece of shit. Carney sucks, but I like him. But you got a Groiper Pepe profile picture. You know, Donica Patinsky sucks, and I don't like him. Nobody cares if your ancestors were bad at war. Who was saying that, dude? Every single generation of my ancestors that were in war, like, won those wars. I don't think I had any ancestors in Vietnam and things like that. My ancestors were in wars that won. I'm sure some of my ancestors were on the side of wars that lost you. Do you have any long past loves? Yeah, I just met a crush that I had 6-7 years ago. About 6 or 7 days ago. And I hope to see her again, but I'm doing this instead, so wish me luck. Ah, there you go. I'm Canadian, that's about it. That's about it, sorry. I'm Canadian, that's about it. Well, that's good. Canadians are cool, dude. Americans really respect Canadians. And if that sounds like I'm being weird, Americans, real Americans, like people who hate Donica Patinsky, real Americans really respect Canadians. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm racist. We know you're racist, so stop being racist. Like, you sound like you could be a decent enough fucking person. Like, you know who a couple of good actors are. You could be a decent person. You could just stop being a racist piece of shit. Stop being a groiper. Stop being a traitor. You know? Like, it shouldn't be that hard, dude. Everybody hates those things. If you're doing those things to be a troll, then yeah, I guess it suits you. But stop. Stop being a troll. Stop being a racist. You know, it's not that hard. Sorry about the Nazi trolls in chat. You already knew by spirit, Euless. Yeah, I have like psychic fairy. I'm tribal with fairyland. Yeah, Shadow Typhoon asks, why are you racist? Tungsten is still here. Thanks, Tungsten. I'm Irish, probably a mix of Celtic, English, Spanish, and Viking. There's no point in really fighting over ethnicity or race or any of that shit. We're all mixed. Ancestry isn't imperative. It's a good point. I mean, it's interesting to talk about. We should talk about how Jasmine Crockett should beat James Tallarico. One reason Jasmine Crockett should beat James Tallarico is because she's black. And one reason why they say James Tallarico will beat Jasmine Crockett is because he's white. But you just prove those people wrong. That's the reason, one reason why Jasmine Crockett should beat James Tallarico is to prove the people that think that the white person has a better chance of winning wrong. And for other reasons, but for just that reason, they really try to same them up. They really try to say, hey, we've got two great candidates. No, you've got one great candidate, Jasmine Crockett, who's got a great political destiny ahead of her. Maybe she'll lose the Senate. Maybe she'll lose the primary. She will not have a chance of becoming the senator. And she'll go ahead and run for president. I like it even better. She wins the Senate. She wins it big. And then she just has to run for president. Like, her campaign gets so much attention as she wins the Senate race, she has to run for president. I like that. But I like the other one too. I mean, I don't really like it. I don't really like the idea that the people who said the white guy has a better chance are proven right or something. Any Democrat's going to win. If you can actually have an election, any Democrat's winning in like 4 months, 5 months. How long is it? Okay, Shadowban says, I'm racist due to my life experience. Okay, so this is what you do. If you're racist due to your life experience, what you want to do is you want to go to the Paul Birdsong Black Lions video where he's announced. It's a 4-hour video, but you just skip to the part that's called On Segregation. On, I think it's called On Segregation. And it's about in the middle. There's this beautiful girl asks the question. He has this beautiful response. It helps you get over racism. And he talks about it, why people would have racism because of their life experiences, exactly as you just described. So go watch Paul Birdsong, skip to about the middle of that 4-hour video. The video is about a week or two old, but it should be on Solidarity TV YouTube channel. Paul Birdsong and the Black Lions. That whole video is good. Hey brother, do you have any regrets? Any past girls in your life you wish you could date? Didn't you ask me that a minute ago? This girl that I dated, or not, sorry, I never dated her. This girl that I was friends with, that I always wanted to date, I didn't see for like 6 or 7 years, and then I ran into her again, and we've been kind of like texting, and we might meet up maybe. So, yeah, my hopes are already sky high. My hopes are already up. They're sky high. No, that's a Simpsons line. I'm trying not to let my hopes get sky high. Shadowban, are you Proud Boy? Yes, Shadowban is a Proud Boy. You said PB, but I assume you mean Proud Boys, because if you're asking him a question like that, it's probably because of all the racist things he says. I did not even have to say, you already knew your spirit is true. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, I'm going to know things. Like, I've always believed in spirit stuff. Well, it's the Ultraviolet Lion side of this. It's the Peace Pipe Party, the Fairy Liberation Front. Ghost Dance 2016 is another hashtag I made back in the day to stop Trump the first time around. Ghost Dance 2016. Check out the hashtag Ghost Dance 2016, see what happens. 6-7. Wait, no. The Peppy in my picture is genuinely unread Groper sheet. I hate far right. Thank you, Jedi. I mean, your name is Jedi. Jedi Saphilanthropist? Jedi's a philanthropist. Well, yeah, your whole entire name suggests that you would be a Pepe instead of a Groper. But still, dude, that's a little... I mean, I don't know. Maybe you troll. But for the left. Like Woody Allen. I don't know if that's the best comparison these days. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry if I'm behind on the chat. Okay, so now Shadowban's saying that he's not officially a Proud Boy, but he doesn't see anything wrong with him. Dude, I have one of my friends is a 3%er. And I used to argue with this guy every day at work. Because that's how we were friends, is from work. Because I'm, far left. He's far right. But he's very anti-Trump. So we kind of had some, we had some things we got together on. But he was a 3%er. I'm like, dude, Americans love Canadians. Real Americans. Trump Hooteners don't like anybody. They don't like Americans. They don't like Canadians. They don't like Chinese people. They don't fucking like anybody. They like Russians. Okay. Yeah, Trump Hooteners hate Americans, but they love Russians. And I guess half of them love Israelis. And the other half strongly do not. Think about it, guys. Like, you're really fucking yourselves. You're doing all this shit for Russia. You're doing all this shit against America. You're doing all this shit for Israel that you're going to do against Israel. Like, you're going to do the same shit against Israel and Jewish people in like 6 months. If people started calling ICE on synagogues before the election, it would show what you guys are going to do after the election. If we started calling ICE on synagogues and Russian Orthodox churches before the election, it would show what you guys are going to do after the election. And it would be even harder for you to get elected. But if it's looking too hard, they're probably going to cancel the elections. So we need to be like proactive about stuff. Most Americans love Kennedy. Thank you, Cody Simmons. Most Americans. I'm going to go and say all Americans, because I don't qualify Trump Hooteners as Americans. Trump Hooteners can fuck right off and catapult their asses off Sarah Palin's porch to Siberia into 2 camps. Why 2 camps? 2 different camps, very far away in Siberia. Why 2 camps? Because what do they believe there's 2 of? Genders. So that's what they get the fucking 2 camps for. And they can get the eugenics they wanted for us. Put them in the camps they made for us. Nobody loves Lord Fuentes. Okay. 3%, no, 3%ers are, dude, you don't know what 3%ers are? You're sitting here glazing the Proud Boys for like dozens of chats. You've been here for like months, glazing the Proud Boys, and you don't know what the 3%ers are? If you were a Proud Boy storming the Capitol on January 6th, and you look to your left, that's a 3%er. And if you look to your right, that's a flat earther. And if you looked in front of you, that's a Christian nationalist. And if you look behind you, that's a Klansman. And if you look what you're, putting your mushroom in, that's a Nazi. Like, dude, the basket of deplorables was true. As much as Hillary Clinton sucks, she was right about the basket of deplorables. Y'all are the whole basket. They didn't really elaborate on that theme enough. What's up, Wolverine? Describing the coolest people. No, dude, you fucking Russians. I forgot the Russians. Yeah, the Russians. And in between all those other people I just mentioned was a Russian and an FBI agent. A FBI. There was a FBI. I heard that Nick Fuentes turned on his groypers anyway. Imagine some girl probably fucked him. Some girl probably decided to take one for the team. Heard he was a virgin and said, I can fix all this shit. And probably did. What do y'all think? Does Nick... I don't pay attention to that little troll. That little gremlin. I don't pay attention to that little groyper gremlin. Do you guys think... Did he turn on you guys? Do you think he's had sex? No? Do you think that's the difference? Yay, Russia. Russia's getting all their people killed. I heard a lot of the people that they kill in Ukraine, the Russian commanders are killing their own soldiers. Like half the deaths are from the Russian commanders themselves. And some troops. And some platoons. Nick is not odd. He's just a completely broken tool. No, but seriously, dude. Even Nick Fuentes might have redeeming. If some girl went and fucked him, right? If some girl heard the news that he was a virgin and went and said, you know what? I'm going to go fuck that dude and fix all this bullshit. He might turn out to be he might turn around and be a decent person. It could happen to anybody. Well, everybody's got to move further left eventually. Sorry about the Nazis in chat. Sorry about the trolls in chat. Sorry I skipped some comments. I wanted to see how far behind I was. I'll read through you guys' comments, but y'all just chill out for a second. I just snorted some fairy dust. Okay. You should see wrong things with anybody that Trump had storming the Capitol. Sofa King. Ironically, the southern border and northern border share something important. America between them? We appreciate Mac DeMarco, Trailer Park Boys, Maple Syrup, Beast Wars, Reboot. Are those all Canadian things we like? I snorted some fairy dust. I am so fucking... Slava Russia. What's wrong with you, dude? If you want to save Russia, you better save it from Putin. Jasmine keeps it real. See, Cody's a real person in the chat. Hold on, I gotta pin that message. Jasmine keeps it real. Letter Kenny is probably good too. Because Trailer Park. Netanyahu owns this channel and chat room. No, YouTube. Dude, this is how you get rid of Trump, Putin, Netanyahu. What the world does this guy live in? Holy cow. Not the Russian zombie information proof zone. The Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. Navin Johnson? Thanks, Stu. I'm Steven, by the way. Okay, thanks, Steven. Tungsten is Steven. Saint Stephen with a rose, in and out of the garden he goes. Country garden in the wind and the rain. Wherever he goes, the people all complain. Somebody said, you're telling me Huck Finn doesn't know of maple syrup. My great-great-uncle was Mark Twain, who wrote Huck Finn. Message was held for review. Y'all are wasting my time with... No, I'm just kidding. Some of you guys are okay. Sky high, black ice, maple syrup is American. Trump is sleeping. What is Trump is sleeping translated from? Trump MAGA. Trump MAGA translated to Trump is sleeping. I want to screenshot it, but screw it. ICE isn't coming to Virginia. The guy's vote cancels mine. Jesus. Canada produces more maple syrup. Huck Finn. Trump is pedo, bro. That's the truth. But of course, Net and YouTube hid that comment to protect Trump being a pedo. Trump's a pedo, bro. Candy Simmons organized in northeastern states. Canucks have more maple trees. Obviously, they're going to be able to produce more. Do we also... Nobody supports Trump in this chat. LeBron Curry? What a weird name. 3% all the way. Are you a 3%er too? That's so weird. He did say that most of the people in his 3%er group were socialists, which I was kind of surprised by, but I also didn't necessarily believe. He didn't seem to lie, though. I don't know. I think he was just trying to entice me. Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Like, who are these people? Who cares method? 75% of my nation's tribe is in Canada. Jedi said compare. I didn't mean it like that, Jedi. That was just, it's just a line. There's a Woody Allen line in his movie Annie Hall where he says, yes, I'm a bigot, but for the left. I might be a bigot. Yes, I'm a bigot, but for the left. Something like that. Comparing me to Woody Allen is not what I expected tonight. I consider myself a democratic socialist. Clear my name. I'm very progressive. No, dude, you're cool. You're like one of the best people ever in the chat. You and Joseph. You and Joseph might be the only good people currently in the chat. So do not think I was trying to... Oh, Deadman. I think Deadman's good too. We'll see. We'll see who else is good in the chat. Oh, Stephen. Stephen from Ireland. Okay, the term 3%er here is a group in America. I always thought they were right wing. They're definitely represented in the January 6th insurrection, as you would imagine they would be by what I'm about to tell you. They call themselves the 3%ers because they insist that only 3% of Americans participated in the American Revolution. I don't think that's true. I think it was probably a lot more than that. But they say that only 3% participated in the American Revolution, and you only need about 3% of a population to overthrow a country. So they're trying to be that 3% by branding themselves as the 3%. So basically they have whatever their agenda is, and the fact that I don't know, even though I know enough to tell you all that, I don't know whether they're actually right-wing as I thought, or whether, as my friend who claims to belong to a group says, most of them are socialists. I don't know what they want to replace the government with if they overthrow it, which seems a little bit bad branding, but they're definitely for overthrowing the government. So anyway, that's what a 3%er is, to my understanding, but I'm not one, so I don't take my word for it. Read a book. Take a look, it's in a book. A reading rainbow, reading rainbow. I can do anything. No, that's what 3%ers is the people who want to overthrow the government. So in that sense, they would be against the ultra rich. The 1%ers are what they call the ultra rich. What up, Puff Diddy? How much did you love that State of the Union? Work art, huh? No, nobody liked the State of the Union, dude. I've heard clips of it and it sucked. I saw the videos that are called the top moments and they sucked. Did you put Scizor in the electric plug again? Scizor the Pokemon? You do love Lord Fuentes. Why do you call him Lord Fuentes? That's so weird. Are you recovered well, Steven? Are you the one who was having a type of surgery or something? Of course, I'll say another prayer for you. Bless your recovery and your success and your joy and happiness in the world and in Ireland. Bless Ireland through you. My ancestors' homeland. God damn it, Euless. What is it, Wolverine? You seem unsettled. Why is the chat so far right? Well, Jedi, thank you for... It's to give you an opportunity. Every good person can destroy like 300 to 1,000 fascists in my chat. There's going to be about 300 to 1,000 fascists in the chat. When you ask why is the chat so far right, I'd say there's a couple reasons. Net and YouTube, first and foremost, Net and YouTube is a fascist platform. I'm not here because it's fascist. I'm here because I've been here a long time, and they allow me to be here. Other platforms, Twitler suspended me in 2008 for no reason. I didn't do anything wrong. They never gave me a reason, but they suspended me in 2008. Never been back. Fashbook, I just gave up on and left. They used to ban me every month. I would get a month-long ban every single time I went on there. So Fashbook was frustrating, and I never went back on Fashbook after about 2002, I don't know, 2018. I can't remember. TikTok banned my accounts for supporting Gaza, for criticizing Trump and Putin, or for criticizing Trump. They deleted 4,000 of my videos each time. So, not going back to Trump talk. Damn, why did you guys leave so many comments? Eat the rich. I got a little pin that says eat the rich. It's not on a garment I have close by. Anson Meyer says, Gulis, I'm originally from Iowa. Take a wild guess where I live. Bulgaria. I was going to say something else, but I decided on Bulgaria. Yeah, it's my art. It's not really that hard to be a leftist. Now, on TikTok, if you were a leftist, you'd realize that everybody's a leftist. And that's why they had to take TikTok away. But here, it would be rare to find other leftists. Yeah, the 1%'s the rich. Deadman's a 3%er. How would you say I characterize the 3%er, Deadman? If you identify as a 3%er, did I mischaracterize them or not? Yet, Mr. Turtle Duck is an Epstein victim. He had Trump and people fucking his ass. So, or like making him fuck other kids and stuff. So, Mr. Turtle Duck can tell you about that stuff. Tell him about it, Turtle Duck. Tell him about how Trump passed you around. Who else was there, Turtle Duck? Did you see Clarence Thomas there? Did you see Jim Jordan? When you were getting fucked by Trump and Epstein, who else was there? Clarence Thomas. Was there a black guy there? Clarence Thomas, right? Yeah, you're a survivor. Tell us about who you survived. Tell us about who fucked you when you were on Epstein Island. Turtle Duck. Hello. Nice to see you, Skylers. No, Clarence Thomas was there. Sasha Riley told us about Clarence Thomas and Jim Jordan and some other creep and Trump were there. Trump was the first one. I didn't get a haircut. I was going to, and I didn't get one. I don't know if I'll get one now or not. Clarence Thomas was there with Jim Jordan. See? We've got confirmation. Sorry about that. But thanks for letting everybody know about it. So, well, that doesn't make it okay. I mean, it's not your fault. Hello, cute puppy. We were just talking. Really wasn't much going on. We had a few main characters in chat. We had Joseph. We had Dead Man System. We had Steven, known as Tungsten. Yeah, I'm probably going to put you on the spot since you said that about a toaster last time you came in. So you're probably going to be on the spot every time you come in. I'm going to introduce you as one of Epstein's victims who Donna Kupatinsky raped. I'm going to let people know that Donna Kupatinsky raped you every time you come into the chat. You like that? Oh, don't worry about it. Inside joke. He's dead. I'm not on the spot because I'm above American politics. What country are you from, Schylers? Bruh. Yeah, that's how it works here. Those are the rules. Yeah. Trump put it on his spot. Yep. Trump put it on his little prepubescent spot. So, Trump made a puppet out of you like Putin made a puppet out of him. Running meme, do you know what the fuck you can do with the toaster oven? No, I don't. No, I didn't know that. I don't have one, so. You think Epstein was Mossad or KGB? Let's just break that down for a second. Is he Mossad, KGB, or both? Put a 1 in the chat for Mossad. Put a 2 in the chat for KGB. Put a 3 in the chat for both. Or should we do CIA too? 1 for Mossad. No, that's getting too complicated. Let's just do 1, 2, 3. 1 for Mossad, 2 for KGB, 3 for both. 4. You're already getting ahead of me. He's also CIA. Ooh. Nobody likes Bondi. CIA Mossad. Okay. Cute Puppy says CIA. Well, so why leave the KGB out of it? Here's my evidence for KGB. Okay, I'm going to make a case for KGB. The question is, was Epstein Mossad, KGB, or both? 1 for Mossad, 2 for KGB, 3 for both. He had a handler from the CIA. Well, yeah, so, I mean, don't they all interface, right? No, it was funny that Trump passed you around to, what was funny was how Trump passed you around. When you were a child, Trump passed you around to Clarence Thomas and Jim Jordan. I mean, that's only funny because you're funny. So we can joke about it when it's you. You know what I'm saying? If it was another victim, we wouldn't joke about it. But since it's you, we will. Because it's funny. Yeah, I find it funny that you're a victim. That's what I find funny, is that you're a victim. That you got passed around by Trump. Other people, Sasha Riley, I feel sorry for. Other people I feel sorry for, but you, I think it's funny. Yeah, see, you get what you get. You probably won't show up around here that much anymore, will you? Because you don't want to relive every time. Maybe when Trump's gone, I won't have to mention it. But now when I see you, I'm probably going to think, oh yeah, that's the guy that Trump passed around. That Trump and Epstein passed around. It's funny because he's pretending to be a victim. I guess so, yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going to go along with the joke, you know? It's all jokes, right? If he's going to exploit victims by pretending to be one, or if he's going to exploit victims by just being an ass, even if he is one, he can fuckity fuck right off. That's how that works. And he should know by now I'm a witch. He should know what happens to people who, I will always be here. Okay. I mean, whatever. It's your life. Fairies don't like what you're saying. They're going to curse you. Which fairies? Yeah, fair enough. Agree with you, Euless. I go on instinct and stuff. Oh no, a witch. Yeah, exactly. You're not a witch, Mr. Total Duck. You could be a witch if you want to be, but you're not. You're mostly like a troll, right? I am a stronger witch, Euless. You're going far right. Trump is getting to you. No, dude. You just don't say certain shit. Whoa. Anson Meyer says, Lewis, I should do a video call with you on live sometime. Show people what actually happens in Ukraine with the nightly Russian terrorist attacks. Well, thank you, Anson, for being in Ukraine and wanting to tell the world about it. Do you post content on YouTube? I will gladly use my channel to amplify your channel. I don't have a lot of real subscribers, as you can tell. I've got a bunch of Nazis in the chat. Somebody asked earlier why there's so many Nazis in the chat. And I got as far as saying, well, Net and YouTube is a Nazi platform. And I talked about how all the other platforms are Nazi platforms too. Got a little distracted. The other reason there's Nazis in the chat is because I'm extremely anti-Nazi. So where are they going to put their effort? Who are they going to try to suppress with their stupid comments? Who are they going to try to troll? Somebody they're afraid of. Somebody whose ideas they're afraid of. I don't even have that many great ideas. Automatic citizenship for everyone, ICE contacts. Church of Judas replaces all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. So yeah, it's a pretty great idea. We do replace their churches. We do end patriarchy and war and capitalism and Trumpism. So yeah, it's pretty great ideas, I guess. That's not my idea. I'm the one who talks about it. That's a Jesus thing. Jesus is from the goddess. Then you worked for through their agency. So an opposite agency finds you and then exploits your weaknesses. Exactly. It's just like CIA or whoever, not CIA, whoever it is. Like they, embed an agent in the drug cartel, and then that agent has to sell drugs and drive fancy cars and fuck prostitutes and stuff because otherwise the cartel will, you know what I'm saying? It's just the same. It becomes the same damn thing. Or Trump kidnaps a president, right? Trump goes and kidnaps a president. They incapacitate 32 Cuban guards and then they murder them. After they've already incapacitated them, when they could have just zip tied them up, they murdered them instead. After they'd already incapacitated them. War crime. So they did that. They did a war crime on their way in. Then they kidnapped president and his wife. A few months before, he released another ex-president who was a drug dealer, convicted drug dealer. Now he's saying that he kidnapped Maduro for being a drug dealer, which would make it even worse if he actually was, because he's definitely playing sides in a drug war. So these are drug traffickers, and Trump is a drug trafficker. He's a trafficker of drug traffickers. Just, a whole nother level worse than actual drug traffickers. The fuck are you people? Fairies wear boots, so you gotta believe them. I saw it, I tell you no lie. Fairies wear boots and you gotta believe them. I saw it with my own two eyes. I want to tell you a story about a little man, if I can. A gnome named Grimble Grumble, and little gnomes, they in their homes, eating, sleeping, drinking their wine. And then one day, hooray, another way for gnomes to say, ooh my, ooh my. Look at the sky, look at the river, isn't it good? Yes, I am single. Can't you tell? I probably would have had a haircut by now if I wasn't. So, yeah, I'm single. Maybe not for long, though. I met a girl that I had a crush on 6 or 7 years ago. And I don't know. Honestly, it seemed kind of like it was 6 or 7 years ago. So, never mind. I don't know. I was allowing myself to start to be excited about it, but I wasn't going to get overexcited about it. Because when I do that, it's probably not healthy. All right, thank y'all for being here. She was very beautiful. I mean, she is very beautiful. But I don't think she thinks I'm as beautiful as I think she is. So, yeah, that's what happens sometimes. But I gotta shut down the live because we're almost at an hour. Does anybody want me to come live again in like 10, 15 minutes? Why do I have original Charlie and the Dodd Factory vibe? Yeah, this is the final minute, so I can't read all the comments. Sorry. Arson Meyer says, I was in HHC 137 1AD in the Army in the 126th Marine Brigade in Ukraine. You were in Ukraine? If you're helping fight the Russians, I certainly appreciate it. Everybody in Ukraine is doing more to save America from Trump and Putin than anybody in America is doing. So, thank you. Because if you butter his ego, everyone gets to turn Trump. Okay, well, thank y'all for watching. I'm going to shut down the live. I'll go live again in a minute if anybody wants me to. I was singing a Pink Floyd song called The Gnome. And then before that, I was singing the Black Sabbath song, Fairies Wear Boots, because somebody suggested it. All right, see y'all later.